Hi, I'm Tim Elkhorn, the radio play-by-play voice of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you're watching Keeping It Real Sports.
Hey, Taylor Rapp here from the LA Rams. Shout out to Steve Taylor, the real sports guy, and the honorary Ram. When Steve's talks sports, you better listen. Thanks, Steve from the Rams, for your continued support and love.
With Prince Bell, we rocking with Keeping It Real Sports, and we gonna be on this. We gonna be on a lot of times. I love the platform. Check in, it's the new wave. Like, follow, subscribe, and do all that good stuff.
Come on. I told you I got you. Wanna talk about his game, he can talk about it. Tennis, match, golf, he can talk about it. Don't matter what it is, he can talk about it. Any sport dude, he know about it. Safety boy bum, don't doubt it. If he tell you that it is what it is. The real sports guy in the Sandman. Talk show game in the bag, man. Rep, don't have to throw the flag, man. Steve Taylor, Andy Sands. It's over, OVA. Game over, they don't play. From the fourth quarter to the ninth inning. NASCAR wheels keep spinning. To the 18th hole, he's still in control. Guy on the go. Coach never missing the play, cause he know the deal. This keeping it real. Sports. Come on. Keeping it real. Yeah. Let's go.
Indeed, let's go. Another edition of Keeping It Real Sports, where March has gone completely mad. I'm your boy, the real sports guy. He is the Sandman, Andy Sanzada. Sandman, man, it is crazy. It's been a crazy week, man. Oh my gosh, man. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing all right, Steve. Listen, hey, that's why they call it March Madness. I mean, we saw firsthand why it's called March Madness, and it's been a fun 2 days. It really has.
It really has. This here is the epitome of sports. This is, to me, the sporting event of the year.
I agree with that.
It comes down to that, man. You know, absolutely love it, man. Hey, look, let's not even, man, mess around with it, man. You know it's hot off the press. Let's check it.
It's got to be hot off the press, right? I mean, is there anything hotter than the NCAA tournament right now? The answer is no. The thing that might come close, a close second, would be the World Baseball Classic, but not this time of year, right?
No.
I mean, it's all about the tournament, and we're going to break down the tournament. We're going to get into the upsets and everything here momentarily, but just give me your first thoughts, your initial impressions of the tournament so far after we've gone through the first round.
There are a bunch of really good basketball teams in the nation. There is not one standalone team that you say, you know, I just got to watch these, you know, this team here, you put all your money on, you know, you kind of think you know, but you really don't know. And after last night, we really don't know, man. We really don't know.
No, we're going to get into that here momentarily. But
let's get into it, man.
Let's do quick hitters.
Quick hitters.
It's not baseball season, so I don't have a baseball background for us. But, you know, we got to talk about the World Baseball Classic because the defending champions are on their way once again, Steve. They advanced in the pool C. They're playing Venezuela tonight at 7 o'clock on FS1 in the World Baseball Classic in the quarterfinal. I'm really excited about this game. I'll be flipping back and forth between this and basketball, no question about it. But an upset last night. Mexico ousts Puerto Rico to take on Japan in the semifinals on Monday. I mean, this tournament has everything you could want in a tournament. And it's more exciting to me than the Olympics from a baseball standpoint.
Yeah, man, the cream definitely rises to the top. Tonight is not going to be a walk in the park, man. Venezuela, one of the best teams, man, in the Classic. The good thing about it, the U.S. hasn't played its best game yet, so just maybe it might show up tonight.
All right, what else you got, partner?
Well, man, the gloves are starting to fly, and the actions and the sparks are starting to pop up at the press conference. Not the fight, the press conference. Oh my gosh, did you see the exchange between Davis and Garcia? Both guys, man, predicting knockouts. Andy, they just turned this thing up just a little bit more.
They're doing their job. That's what you got to do to hype up a fight, right?
Well, they definitely, and you can tell that there's definitely no love lost there.
Oh,
by the way. Oh, by the way.
All right, Steve. Well, we talked about the World Baseball Classic, and one of the reasons Puerto Rico was in so much trouble last night is they didn't have their closer. The reason they didn't have their closer, well, he hurt his patella in a post-game celebration, and he's out for the season. He tore it, Steve. And this is a massive blow to the New York Mets' chances of winning a World Series.
Absolutely, but Edwin Diaz happened to be on the American team, and this happened in the American post-game celebration, man, where they literally had to carry Edwin off. Oh, man, it just hurt to see this guy, man, being carried off in such a regard, man. Oh, man, I hope that the United States have I'm sure they got somebody to step in, but he was the guy that was filling that closer role for the U.S.
All right, and then Michael Jordan has had enough of a losing season in Charlotte. He's done over there. He's got better things to do than to watch bad basketball, Steve Taylor.
Yeah, I guess, man. Well, he's not going to sell everything. He's only going to sell, man, the majority stake in it, so he'll still be a minority owner, but I guess enough is enough, man, Yeah. So there it is, man. Oh, by the way, hey, Andy, man, you know us hot off the press, man. Right now, it's all about the Final Four, man. Let's take the road to said Final Four.
All right, before we get started on the upsets, I just have to say, you and I kind of know what we're talking about here, okay?
Little bit.
Our brackets are not busted by any means.
Speak for
you
yourself.
are 26-6 after the first round. I'm right there behind you. I'm at 24-8. I think for me, that's probably the best I've ever done in the first round. Normally, I pick a lot of upsets. I didn't go that route this year, Steve. I just had a feeling that the teams that were supposed to win were going to win. Now, speaking of upsets, it started on day one, right? And this one hurt my bracket a little bit because I had Arizona in the Elite Eight. I had Virginia in the Sweet 16. So this one stung me a little bit, but I was smart enough not to put them all the way into the Final Four because a lot of people had Arizona going to the Final Four, Steve.
Oh.
But you and I knew better than that.
No, I didn't have them in the Final Four, but what was shocking is how disappointing they played against Princeton because Princeton did not play well, people. They just played better than Arizona. They didn't play well at all. So, that said, but the thing that got me was Furman and Virginia because the kid, Clark, he is a 6-year senior. He was there when they won the national championship. Mm-hmm. So for him to dribble to the corner, the coffin corner, and then pick the ball up, and even then, the first thing they teach you is to reverse the basketball. He had the outlet on the reverse if he just follows his basketball principles. He didn't do that. He panicked when the fit hit the sham, and he threw a Hail Mary up, and it was picked off, and I knew immediately Furman was going to hit the three-pointer, which they did, and goodbye. Bye,
Steve, the thing that got me the most about that play, you had one timeout left. Why aren't you calling timeout if you're caught in the corner?
Andy, if you follow your basketball principles of reversing the basketball, You always look left. You always.
Always, yes. But you don't have to do that if you call the timeout. Yeah. So that was the one that got me. But yesterday, for only the second time in 152 matchups, this happened.
A 23.5-point underdog. Farley Dickinson shocks Purdue. And the thing is, people, let's not really put this on the Purdue kids. Let's call it what it really is. There are men collecting paychecks for misleading children, or said children, because they're grown children, but they're still children. Not knowing how to play to their strengths. Come on, Matt Painter. You're better than that. And then for you to take the podium and say you got our coach, no shit, Sherlock. And I said that.
Listen, I saw #Fire Painter all over Facebook last night. I don't think he makes it out of this one, Steve.
Hey, here's an idea. Here's a grand idea. Maybe try zone defense. You ever think about that? You can't guard anybody, and it's not just Edey. So please don't think it's Edey trying to guard a 6'7" kid. They spread you out, and they were beating you like.
But on top of the bad coaching, it correlated to the players on the court, Steve. You could tell that Matt Painter didn't have confidence in them, and they didn't have confidence in themselves because of that. They didn't shoot the ball when they had open shots. They weren't shooting the ball.
Wide open shots, man. Stop this madness, man. Stop this madness. So that brings us to, man, our Final Four predictions. Let's get a look at yours and see how your brackets are looking so far, Andy.
Before we get to the Final Four, let's take a look at an updated bracket that we have from last night up until the latest of late games, because we can only do so much. Okay? All right, so here we have it. So you still have Houston, you still have Alabama, and you still have Kansas. So 3 of the 4 number 1s made it through. All right? And 3 of the 4 number 2s made it through as well. So what this is telling me, Steve, is this is unprecedented, right? I mean, not often do we see this many favorites walking through the first round the way that they did. Because a lot of these games, even though a lot of them have been close, a lot of them have been blowouts on the top seed ends of things, right? I mean, you had the 2 upsets, the major upsets, but all the other teams that were supposed to handle their business handled their business. Kansas won by almost 30. UCLA won by 24. Even though Connecticut got a little bit of a scare in the first half, they ended up winning by 24. So I think you're going to start seeing after this weekend the teams that are supposed to separate themselves.
Well, talk to me after the weekend, after tomorrow, because see, this is today and tomorrow is when the upsets are more likely to happen.
I agree with that.
So we'll see how many number 1 seeds are remaining after this weekend.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at our brackets as we have them. Okay, I have Alabama in the South, Duke in the East, Texas in the Midwest, and Gonzaga in the West. Now, hindsight being 2020, I probably should have had UConn in the West, but I'll run with the Zags for now. And then here's my championship game. I've got Alabama. Yeah, not the football team, the basketball team, Alabama winning it all. And Steve, the reason I picked Alabama was what I saw in the conference championship game last week. They were completely dominant. And, oh, by the way, they won that first round game on Thursday without Brandon Miller scoring a single point. They still won by 24 points. That should worry people. All right, what do you got?
See, we've been telling you all year, if you really followed what we've been telling you in our Fab Five all year, a lot of the Fab Five that I have picked. Okay, I had Alabama. I like Alabama. In the East, I had Purdue, Purdue. I won't ever take Purdue again. In the West, Houston. UConn, and in the Midwest, Houston. My final, I have Alabama against Houston. The Houston Cougars, national champions. I just like the way they defend. Even though they have a growing issue with with Marcus Sasser. But however, let me inform you that Alabama also has a growing injury with concern with Brandon Miller. And it's a question if even he's going to play today. Just putting it out there. But if I had a redo and a mulligan to take in that East bracket, it would be Marquette and Shaka Smart and his crew.
All right. People want to ask why I've got Duke in the Final Four. Steve, you always have to find that team that figures it out at the end of the season, right? They have won 10 in a row. They won their conference, convincingly, by the way, and they have a full roster. Do you know what their record is with the full roster? 20-1.
Yeah,
it's now 20-1.
Yeah, I get all of that. Man,
so I'm just saying that's why I have them in the Final Four.
I don't get enamored with the ACC this year, mainly because it's probably the worst conference in the country. It's just not a good conference. It's just not.
Oh, I think it's stronger than the Big East. Overall. I'm not saying the teams, like the top team. I'm just saying overall, I think it's stronger.
I got you. All right, man. Hey, look. Hey, man. So that was our road to the Final Four. But, man, it's been crazy. NFL storylines have been jumping off, man. Free agency is frenzy. It's crazy. Let's do it.
My partner, because there were so many moves, right? I mean, we're talking like near 100.
Oh, my goodness.
We don't have enough time to get to all the important individual signings, right? So let's analyze who you thought won free agency from a team perspective. So we're looking at this from a team perspective only.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we'll give you some of the best moves that we think that some of the teams made. And the first one, the winners of free agency, got to be the Chicago Bears. You kind of got to like what they've done. They trade back out of that number one pick. They pick up a number one wide receiver. Then they go out and they get protection for the quarterback. They go and get the guard from Tennessee. Then they double down. They go and get the best defender on the Buffalo Bills.
Tremaine Edmonds.
This kid gets after the quarterback, man. You know, they pick up linebackers, man. You kind of got to like what they've done. You know, look, right now, hats off to the Bears. And then they get a backup quarterback, running back. Kind of like what they're doing.
Yeah, and
you know, money to spend too.
PJ Walker's a great fit there, I think, because he's very similar to Justin Fields. If Fields happens to get hurt, you're not losing anything on your offense. You can run your offense the same exact way. So I thought that was a smart move. The other thing I really like is where they're at in the draft, Steve. The capital they got in that trade, they're going to shore up that offensive line, right? They're going to go with either Skoronski or Paris Johnson. That has to be the pick, in my opinion. And then they still got enough picks to be able to shore up the defense even more. The Bears could end up making noise in the North just like that. I mean, that division, now that Aaron Rodgers is leaving, and we'll talk about that later, that division is wide open, more than it ever has been. Look at the momentum Detroit has from last year, right? Minnesota lost a few pieces, but probably not enough to fall to the bottom. I mean, I'm excited for that division. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Okay, so moving on. We got to keep going. We got to keep it going. Let's get to the next big move that we think, man, is Jimmy G to the Raiders. Man, give me your thoughts real quick on this one.
I mean, if you're a betting man, this was one you walked into Vegas and put your money down on, right? You just knew he was going to hook up once again with Josh McDaniels. But, Steve, it's 1A for 1A. I don't think it's an upgrade from what they had. I really don't, especially with his injury history and, you know, the fact that they traded away a key piece, which we'll talk about when we talk about another team later. I just don't think Josh McDaniels is a good head coach. But Garoppolo wanted out of San Francisco. He goes to Vegas. That's his kind of town. I'm not surprised one bit.
Andy, I absolutely love it. I think it was a great get. I think that Jimmy G is exactly what McDaniels wants to do at quarterback and not Derek Carr. I think it was a win-win. I think the energy that he's bringing into the building, I like. I tell you, the other energy that I like, man, coming into the building is in Dallas. Stephon Gilmore comes in, but they get rid of Ezekiel Elliott. They cut him. They free up almost $16 million in cap space by doing that. They tag Tony Pollard, kind of what we told you, what we thought saw coming. Mm-hmm. But for them to get Stephon Gilmore, that is huge.
Yeah, to put him back there with Diggs, that's dangerous. I mean, now you're looking at one of the best secondaries in the NFL automatically.
No. Andy, what he's going to do is he's going to teach Diggs about guessing routes. See, Diggs guesses routes a lot, and he guesses wrong a lot. When he's right, he's right. But when he's wrong, he's dead wrong. Gilmore is going to teach him how to study a whole lot better, man. Man, I like what they did right there. That's a great move for the Cowboys.
Well, the NFC least is now going to be the NFC beast, right? I mean, look at what the Giants did.
Exactly. But, what the Giants did, they upgraded, number one, by keeping their own because they kept their other ones in-house. But then they make a splash move by getting Darren Waller for a third-round draft pick. Now, get this. This is for the third-round draft pick that they got from Kansas City for Kadarius Toney. So, basically, they traded Kadarius Toney for Darren Waller. Upgrade.
Oh, major upgrade. And I really like what the Giants did. And I think they handled it correctly, Steve, by signing Daniel Jones and franchise tagging Saquon Barkley, which is what I said they would do when we went over that segment a few weeks ago. All right, but this is the biggest news of the week, without question. It has to be. And you had an opportunity to watch this entire show and watch this entire interview, and I want you to tell the people out there to stop listening to the narrative that's being pushed. Please.
Yeah, really. Aaron Rodgers, man, made it real clear that he wanted to play football next year, and he wanted to play for the Jets, and he told him that on Friday. He told all parties involved that last Friday. So this is not news. So for us to hold the narrative that Aaron Rodgers is holding information from everybody is totally not true. I really enjoyed the interview, and the narrative that a lot of the media wants you to believe is simply not true. Just get the facts for yourself, people. That's why we keep it real here. I keep it real. I ain't got nothing to lie about.
If you're the Packers, you have to get at least one, if not two, first rounders, because you don't have to trade him.
No, you're not getting it. Yeah, you do. You do. Because you're not going to take that $60 million cap hit, so you do have to trade him at some point. So you can just, right now what they're going to do is they're going to hold up to a June 1st. It's not going to happen after June 1st. People, this is not going to be real quick. I'm going to tell you that now. It's not going to be quick.
No, it's not. They're going to wait until they absolutely have to settle for what the Jets are willing to give them.
All right, so people, I'm tired of you calling me, texting my phone, man, sending me emails, asking me what's going on in L.A. Look, let me tell you what's going on in L.A. The Rams made 3 big moves. They traded, Jalen Ramsey. They released Bobby Wagner. They released Leonard Floyd. People, this move freed up $61 million in cap space next year. They're looking for 2024. They're going to reset. Don't think that they're going to McCann this year. No, really. I went back. I was told by a Ram insider to go back and look at the film, which I did. I went back and looked at the film, and I watched the Rams defense employ a lot of off coverage, a lot of zone coverages. Why is that important? Because I don't need a $20 million cornerback making $20 million playing off coverage and zone coverages. It don't make sense, people. The Rams are doing the right thing here.
Well, you would know better than anybody, that's for sure. And then one other move, this was the one that started the domino effect of massive transitions. This is a big blow to the NFC champions, right? And now you might be looking at the new NFC champions after this one. Man. This is a big get for already, Steve, a formidable defense.
Yeah, man, the rich keep getting richer, and that's exactly what happened there, man. My gosh, the 49ers, oh boy, that's not good.
All right, there you go, man. It's time to talk some basketball in the NBA land, if you will. Let's do a little bit.
Let's get it. Update it.
All right, the story of the week. We gave it to you last week. It was the John Morant situation with him being away from the team indefinitely. Well, now the commissioner has stepped in, Steve, and he said enough is enough. I'm going to have a conversation with you about this. I don't agree with how you acted. I think that you need to serve some time and think about that. And I thought the NBA was right to step in and put an actual number on the game suspension for John Morant. And he's able to return to the team on Monday, Steve. But Adam Silver is without question the best commissioner in professional sports. He knows how to handle these guys. He does it fairly. He does it correctly. And he doesn't show any bias towards anybody. And I thought this was well done by Adam Silver.
Yeah, he jumps right in, man. But I think it was a good job of the Grizzlies by removing Ja out of the situation, really kind of giving the commissioner the leeway to make that decision, because they told him they took him out 2 games and they took him out 4 more games. So they got ahead of this. They did a good job at that. But to actually hear Ja actually talk, he sat down with Jalen Rose, and to hear him being contrite and the plan moving forward and what they're going to do moving forward. Now, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Ja said that that's not him. Well, no shit, Sherlock. We know that. We know that. Quit trying to be something that you're not. So that said, man, we're going to give you the chance to move on. We know you want to move on, and so we will do just that. We will move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
And we'll move on to the Lake Show, man. And Andy, my question: are they really gonna make this thing, man? Is the move they made too late? I mean, what the hell is going on? They let Kleber clutch on their ass last night.
Listen, I've told everybody a couple of weeks ago that the LeBron injury, whether LeBron was hurt or not hurt, this team is not a playoff team. They're not, Steve. If they get into the play-in, it's because somebody else falls apart. It's not because they play themselves into the play-in. Okay?
Yeah, well,
so my answer is no, they're not getting in. And yes, it's too late.
Okay. And that brings us to our team of the week, Andy. And
I saw firsthand what these guys are doing right now. I wouldn't want to play them.
Let me tell you something. It's a reason that I got that MVP behind him, because right now I'm changing my mind. I'm tempted to lean toward Joel Embiid right now, having a slight lead in the MVP race.
I see where you're coming from. Are we forgetting that in 1995 there was a co-rookie of the year with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill, right?
Yeah, that was BSN too.
Listen, it's been done. My point is, why can't we have co-MVPs?
Yeah, no. We just need one. Just one. Just like we only need one NBA power rankings list, man. Let's get to it, man. Our very first of this year, our top 5 NBA teams. Andy, give me number 5.
All right, we got your boys. You're liking these guys a lot. Listen, we know this is an award we don't have to disperse on. It's Mike Brown, Coach of the Year. It's not even close.
No doubt about it.
Listen, I really enjoy watching these guys play basketball. There's just something about this team, the roster that they have, the nice mix that they have of young talent and veteran players like Harrison Barnes. And I just think that they're dangerous, and I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. First or second.
Okay, all right. They're number 2 in the West right now. Number 4, who we got?
Well, the number 1 team in the West, obviously.
Exactly. The Denver Nuggets, the Joker, a walking triple-double, people. That's what he is. You can't take nothing away from him. Number 3, Andy, and it's got to be our team of the week, the Philadelphia 76ers, man. Without a doubt, Joel Embiid coming up on the MVP race right now. Did you see what he did last night? 30-80 dropped last night. Man, Joel is coming on. Bring it, Joel. I see you. I see you, big boy. Number 2, them Boston Celtics, them young dogs. Once again, man, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum, man, that is double trouble if you ever seen it, people. And you're talking about trouble? Well, then let's look at number 1. We talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. And we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, but they're coming together. Chris Middleton's starting to come around. And I told y'all about True Holiday. I didn't say Drew. I said true, because this game is just that. It's true. There you go. That's our first power rankings. How you like them, Andy?
I like them a lot, and I agree with every single one of them. So we're on the same page. And before we go, Steve, we got one last thing, and it's a big announcement for our buddy Prince Bell.
Yes, sir. Yep, he gets to fight right here in the Huntington Center. It will be in April. But right now, what I'm more excited about is he's ranked number 3 in the WBO, number 6 in the WBC. This here fight is going to be a tune-up fight that's going to get him a fight within the top 10. Once he gets that top 10 matchup, the winner of that will get a title shot. So there we go. Prince Albert Bell, you know I'm going to be in the house, big baby.
Well, we've been in the house for about a half hour now, but Steve, it's been fun, but it's time for us to run. So until next time, we wish you love.
And peace. Chuck them deuces.
All right, see you over there.